Hi, I'm Josh Campbell, CEO of Worth Media Group here in Davos with Dinakar Munagala, the CEO and founder of Blaize. Dinakar, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
So obviously the big theme of the year is AI.
Right.
For those unfamiliar with Blaize, what role are you playing in this AI ecosystem?
So AI is massive. It's come to the data centers initially. We're all about bringing all the wonderful work out from data centers to real world AI, physical AI to the edge. So edge AI is where we play.
So for those, when we talk about edge, right, so a lot needed to align to make that capable, right? Everything from connectivity to obviously processing, lower power consumption. Talk about sort of the unique nature of Blaize and sort of how are you implementing this at the edge with bringing all these technologies together?
Sure. So the core of our innovation is a novel processor architecture. Just like years ago, GPUs were built for graphics. We're all about building a processor for low latency, low power, real world applications at edge AI. So the core of innovation is processor and software to enable this. We're focused on real world applications like smart cities, defense, agriculture, healthcare. Like there's so many industries that benefit from our kind of technology.
Right. So, there was obviously, a little less than a decade ago, the Internet of Things was the big thing to talk about. And that was really, I guess we could say, the instrumentation of the edge, right?
Right.
Really just sensors
Yeah.
reporting back to the cloud. So obviously the technology has advanced hugely in what you're doing. Talk a little about, again, both that data collection at the edge and that real-time decision making.
Right. So excellent thing actually there is that the Internet of Things was a good promise, but mainly the difference is they tried to move all the sensors, gather the data, and send them back to the cloud for computations. Right. Now imagine a world with billions and billions and billions, trillions maybe even of sensors. It is practically not possible to send all that data back to the cloud. You need to have local compute right at the place the data is being generated, and that's what AI at the edge is. And it's a combination of compute and software to make real use cases happen, and that's what we do.
Yeah, and I think there's been a lot of talk of the promise of AI. So what you're talking about is these real world use cases will transform these industries. Will that lead, what will the KPIs be? How are people measuring? What does success look like of technologies like these?
So we're actually very sensitive to that, and our customers are. So KPIs could include, hey, I'm driving a car, right? And let's say for an autonomous car, I cannot pack 4,000 watts of a server to do autonomous driving. I need to pack it into a power efficient, maybe less than 400 watts of power dissipation, right? So 1/10 the power. There's also things like, hey, low latency, right? Driving at 80 miles an hour, I need to make a decision real time, otherwise there's an accident possible. KPIs could include cost, right? To make all of this commercially deployable and return on investment. These are some of the KPIs. So often these come about because of better CapEx and better OpEx.
So a year from now, we're standing back here in Davos. What advancements do you predict will happen in the next year? Where do you see the biggest sort of deployments start to happen?
I think smart cities are happening. We've focused on the initial use cases around computer vision, video analytics. So deployments in smart city, video security, things like factory automation, industrial automation, worker safety. These are very obvious good use cases. We also seeing, of course, automotive is a longer time horizon, but companies are already working and deploying AI into real automotive use cases. So these definitely you'll see a lot more.
And I think, automotive's an interesting one. Everyone tried to race to full autonomy, level 5. They realized, well, maybe we don't need to get there, but all the advancements in safety and technology that it has led to, do you think we'll be at full autonomous at scale? What do you think that the time horizon is?
So it's already happening in certain areas, right? Where let's say mining, right? There are no people there, so they're using autonomous vehicles there in airports, etc. So there'll be places where they'll be deployed initially, and the time horizon I'm thinking is maybe like by end of the decade, you'll have larger scale deployments.
Right. Well, yeah, I think in those closed environments where, we bring down risk maybe a little,
yes.
and see that productivity gain, we'll see that. So, well, Dinakar, thanks for joining us. We'll look forward to seeing what Blaize does in the future.
Thank you very much. Pleasure being here. Thanks, Shrikant.